Yeah. Exciting. So we're gonna see X Factor and Randy. Classic matchup.
Yeah, first semifinal is complete. X Factor versus Randy. This is happening later today, so stay tuned. And yeah, thank you very much, Aiden, for casting this with me. We'll see you later today as well.
Thanks for having
Before
me. Yeah.
yeah, before you go, what do you think about the next series? It's C3BO versus Blodir. Do you have a prediction for that?
Blodir.
Blodir?
2-0. 3-0 even.
3-0 in a best of
Yeah.
3?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Blodir's
All right.
just he's one of the goats, man. He's just that good at the game.
I mean, yeah, he did win last 2 BPLs, so it is not unexpected to hear predictions like
Right.
these. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Yeah, just need to make sure Blodir and C3 have the password to the lobby, and we're going to be seeing them soon. Oh my goodness. Where is that password? There it is right here. Yeah.
So who's coming in for the third game or the third match?
Yeah, so the third game is going to be Hellshound and me. I believe Hellshound is already here.
That I am.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about these games? Do you have something to add?
This was a very entertaining series. I was watching this, and when Akuma was chasing Randy's small fleet of 4 ships, I actually thought Akuma was going to win this game because Randy's comm was in the channel, and I thought he knew the commander had walked off, and I was like, he's gonna do it! He's gonna do it! He turned around and went for the base, and Randy's comm just sneaks out, and I was like, oh, that is a tragedy right there.
Yeah, a smooth criminal slippery escape. Yeah, that is. What is it with Randy always having to do some, lake commander play in every BPL?
Randy of the Lake will live forever.
Yeah, that is true. All right, it looks like these players are picking and banning maps currently. I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to take a very short 1-minute break. I'll be back with you shortly, Hills. Feel free to speak your mind.
Ooh, a minute of my own mind. I'm not sure how good that is. But we have a great series here. I'm super excited to see this. Blodir versus C3BO. Blodir, obviously a monster of a player, has pretty much been looking super dominant for 2 BPLs now, I believe. And
That's right.
a number of players chasing him at this stage, wanting that crown back or wanting the crown for themselves for the first time.
What do you think about
C3BO is no
C3BO's no radar
slouch.
gameplay?
I've honestly... all I know about C3BO is I was trying to get into 1v1s again, and that man just bullied me 2 games in a row. It was very unpleasant getting that bullied. So, he's impressive. He's also very scary. So I'm not counting him out, though I do think Blodir will take the series. He needs to respect C3BO.
Okay. They blasted through picks and bans.
Yeah, they are done. I can quickly run through them. Blodir with a ban on FTL, with C3BO following up with Heartbreak. Blodir picks Hades. C3BO picked Sorolata. That's an interesting one. Then we have Shallow ban, DSD ban, Seth ban, Greenhaven ban, and so we have Hades Pond as our first map. Wait, what? Yeah. Hades Pond, Sorolata into Gasbag Grabbins.
Yay, Gasbag!
Yeah, so game 3 will be there if we go to game 3. Hades Pond and Sorolata. I did not think C3BO would be taking Sorolata. That feels like a map that I would expect Blodir to pick. But C3BO believes, and they are already in game.
I'll shut up here. Let you and Slick enjoy these games.
No, feel free to talk to me while Slick isn't here. The solo
I have
casting
returned.
gig. Oh, great.
Good.
That makes me happier. The solo casting, I don't know if I'm up for that part.
Yeah, sorry about that. I kind of put you on the spot, but I had to take a breather. Okay, so I just returned in time to hear the maps. It was Hades, Sorolata, and Gasbag?
Yeah. With Blodir choosing Hades, C3BO choosing Sorolata, and remaining map Gasbag.
Interesting. Yeah, that's an exciting selection. Obviously, Hades a returning pick, but yeah.
Very much a macro-centric series of games. I feel like we're going to see the most aggressive, possibly Gasbag, maybe Hades, but we have Blodir spawning in as the blue ARM commander, looking to be opting for a vehicle start, which has been very popular with rover dominance, and C3BO opting for the red ARM commander, but he is actually going to be opting for a bot lab, it appears, though he has changed his mind once.
Yeah, I think this is very... this is kind of what C3BO likes to do. He's a very adamant Armada bot player. Even through all of the balance issues he's been sticking with.
I can confirm this. I can confirm this. He bullied me multiple games.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. It's going to be... I want to see how Blodir responds to this, because C3BO is very dangerous with finding ways for the pawns and ticks to get in, and rovers are going to struggle once pawns hit the field, and this is the shortest possible distance, really, between the two players, which means those pawns will arrive really quickly, but rovers beat ticks. That must be said. So...
yeah, they do, and pretty confidently so. But I think I know what Blodir is going to do. This is a build I've seen him do in practice as well. So he's going to go for a really quick 4 metal extractor walk with his commander, and then he's going to return back to the lab, which means that there is a window here in the very, very early game where he is somewhat vulnerable to scout spam, right? You need build power to pump out scouts. They're very BP expensive.
And he's expanding with both of his cons, so he has no BP on his lab at this moment in time. And fortunately for him, C3BO has opted for a 2-con opener before a pawn comes out, but this pawn is going to act 3 cons as well. So fortunately for Blodir, he's kind of just reading his opponent's soul at this point. Because if this was a pawn rush straight over, this would be extremely dangerous, I think.
Yeah, it would be best case scenario for it. You know, shortest rush distance possible to your opponent, and your opponent is not attending his lab in the early stages.
They're getting his rover caught out, goes down, doesn't get a full scout on the base. But he is aware of the incoming pawn. We'll have 5-6 rovers out to defend, takes out the tick. Tick going down means he's not going to have much information, so this pawn might try to reach the high ground though.
Yeah, I think he's trying to run onto the high ground. It is not that difficult to snipe a pawn if you only have rover. Oh, he doesn't go on the high ground, actually. Oh, there we go.
There you go. He opts for it. We'll keep the high ground. We'll be safe and secure. We do see this does mean that Blodir gets a pretty comfortable metal lead for now. I wonder if he sends his com just to knock the thing off the hill before returning back to base.
Yeah, he could do that.
Tick finds the path in. Should be cleaned up in time, though.
Yeah, Max doesn't go down. Yeah, we actually see, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. C3BO is also expanding with his commander. Well, it's currently AFK a little bit.
It's currently having a little break.
Yeah, it's a little bit AFK
needs a rest.
But I'm sure that will be fixed shortly. Yeah, there we go. And he also has a double con expand as well.
I feel like this favors Blodir, though, avoiding the initial damage, really, not taking anything, and expanding himself. I think Vehicles has a slightly better transition, so obviously he has to be on top of everything. We can see C3BO has literally got a tick on every mountain.
Yeah, that is true.
And will be annoying no matter what Blodir chooses to do.
Yeah, there is no really efficient way to deal with this. You kind of just have to park rovers, multiple rovers, and there we go. We see the north tick come down from the high ground, take a mix, and I'm sure he's going to be returning back there when he takes a look at it.
I take another mix, honestly. Yeah, goes finds the next mix. And this just looks so irritating. I feel like it's just a self-D angle there.
Yeah, he should have... Oh, the tick
gets eaten though.
Yeah.
You know, that's some metal for Blodir. He won't be unhappy. Com used to knock the grunt off the hill. and that's one less problem, but there's a lot more problems on their way back over. And this has really stalled Blodir out, and we actually see him floating metal at this moment in time. 1,000 metal in bank is definitely not what you want or expect. But he is cleaning up these pawns.
I think it's a side effect of the build order he chose. It's you know, it's a long time spent not attending the lab. The metal piles up, and he also went for a really aggressive expansion. 2 cons right off the bat.
Oh, the pawn survives that melee, and even more pawns on their way in above this. Blodir will have gotten a LLT up in time. Ooh, C3BO running in, loses a couple of units. How do you feel about this opening for both players? It actually does appear that Blodir is struggling with his energy and to get enough metal produced, but do you think it's fine for him in this position? Or
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think Blodir would be much happier if he was spending his metal fully. He's doing a much better job, and we can see him putting on really good aggressions, just you know, setting Blodir back little by little. That we see the pawn and tick that was on the hill now come down. They took down 2 mexes now. A third maybe will go down, probably not. Yeah, tick gets cleaned up.
It's only 1 tick is left alive on a hill. Blodir is now coming back across the map, but we actually see C3BO has also transitioned to vehicles. Multiple blitzes out and about.
Oh, we actually see Blodir find a constructor here on the south. The 2 blitzes. He is a little bit APM still at the moment, but I think he's gonna pick it up.
Yeah, he notices, goes to follow it up. Big counterattack down the center coming towards Blodir of pawns and blitzes. And Blodir is gonna definitely lose this con, will not be able to defend this in time. But at the same time, Blodir's counterattack is roaring into the backline expansions. The con does not get caught, manages to escape. The other con in danger though. And everyone, there's just fights all over the place. Con is found. Is it no, not going to go down yet?
Escapes.
Big fight breaking out there. Blodir ready with a disengage, retreating, getting the advantage. And this means Blodir covers this. And Blodir's cleaned out the back expansions of C3BO, which I think is going to start pulling the game into his favor. If he can take down any of the build power, that would be big. He's getting some decent trades, but there are nanos here to clean it up. Not going to take out too much here. Might take out a wind or 2. That'll be the end of it.
Yeah. Still though, I think Blodir comes out as the favorite in this engagement. Oh my god, this massive solar block from this con. He manages to sneak in, shut down 3 solars.
This tick is being an absolute menace. Now the blitzers snuck through into Blodir's backward expansion, and a bunch of blitz show up on the other side. They are going to gun down multiple mechs as the LLT stays alive, Solar goes down. More blitzers show up to help clean this out. Won't go too much further. Blodir starts reclaiming them.
Ooh, are the nanos
Blodir messing up?
Here? No, okay.
Ooh,
Managed to
gets
save
the
the
reclaim off just in time.
Yeah, Blodir's still really backed up on metal though. I think C3BO is also having some issues spending, but it's not as bad. Still though, army value has swung now in Blodir's direction, so we can probably see him do a counter attack.
Yeah, and Blodir is the one on the other side of the map, though we do see C3BO opting for a mine layer as well. Fight breaking out in the center of the map as this harass keeps going through the back line of Blodir. Blodir just trying to scale, but Blodir also has so many cons expanding. Like, we're judging this, but there are 4 cons expanding on the rest of the map. He's actually secured everything that isn't his south. Blitz is running into the main base, not going to really find anything. We'll just go down, we'll get eaten up. Blodir gets the minefield notification, sees this.
Ooh,
massive medium mines.
Yeah, they are expensive.
This is a commitment here by Blodir running into these blitzers. Trying to just ignore them, but we'll lose a lot of units here.
Managed to sneak past though. You know, he can 4 blitzes enough to overwhelm an
and he's not being chased.
Expansion.
C3BO is not chasing him, which means that this expansion is going to go down to Blodir's blitzes as long as he focuses the LLT, which I'm relatively confident he will.
Oh, it's close.
He gets it. Blodir's con does get caught out though in the center. But the LLT is already gunning down blitzes, but enough blitzes to break through the dual LLTs. But more blitzes running into the base. bombers out for C3BO. Oh, this game is
Two
getting
bombers only.
wild. Not a
Oh,
lot of
he's-
bombers, yeah.
He's actually targeting the build power. I guess from his earlier scouting, he saw that the build power is in this specific area. He just made two
But
bombers try to take that out.
C3BO's base is Blitz is currently eating his wins. He
Oh, I'm gonna
takes
take a look
the
at that in a second.
bombers go in, take out one of the build powers. Winds are going down. A group of blitzes got through. Not a lot of winds go down. Enough to be a bit of annoyance. Oh, Blodir just repairing his things in time. Blitz still going. Banshee's out. Blodir sees one Banshee, sees more being produced. More winds going down. This is actually getting a little bit annoying. This Blitz got more than it should have.
At the same time, an attack on the south.
These two players are just throwing everything at each other. This LLT helping the blitzes clean it up.
Oh, that was a huge feed, actually.
Yeah, not a lot going down.
Oh my
And-
god, not even a single mix.
Yeah, that's a lot of metal over. Banshees have arrived in Blodir's backline, almost. They're just not shooting yet. Blodir
actually-
doesn't have the energy for all of this.
9 Banshees out for C3BO, a 10th Banshee out now. Blodir has... Oh, he does have an air lab. He is making fighters out of it now.
But massive army advantage at the moment for C3BO, but no real fighter presence. He is switching into fighters now. The map state weirdly looks pretty heavily in C3BO's favor. Lots of metal on the ground for both players. Banshees are getting caught. Another run-in for C3BO. Banshees are going down. Fighters arrive for both players. Both players just trading casualties here. Blitzes everywhere. Literally, there's
Yeah.
3 different blitz raids going on. I don't know which one to talk about. The one on the screen is running towards Blodir's base, but is being intercepted. The other blitz raid by Blodir got intercepted by Banshees, and the other blitz is currently sitting menacingly in the middle of the territory.
There's so much going on right now. I hope you viewers can see the minimap well, because most things are too hard to follow on one screen.
The Banshees are now transitioning to the top side. We actually see Twilights out for Blodir to deny these from the Banshee snipes. Blodir has also set up his A-Solar production. We see a large blitz raid in the south for C3BO, which will catch out Blodir's con, which barely goes down.
Yeah, Blodir
Banshees
has
commit topside.
Blodir has not been able to take that expansion for the entire game. It just has been denied, but he is obviously expanding way better to the north.
Yeah. Once again, this LLT is up to 9 kills. Banshees fighters fighting everywhere. Banshees are finally going down. Blodir getting the air control. He had another counter-attack going in, but C3BO has switched to medium tanks. Blodir is also attacking in the middle of the map at this moment in time. More blitzes running in.
Yeah, these blitzes are unanswered and gonna snipe another constructor.
Yeah, and Blodir is pushing into the south. This medium tank switch might have been a little bit preemptive. Banshee's
C3BO is tier 2.
He has T2. I don't even
He's
know when he got
C3BO
this, but
is
his con is stuck! C3BO's con is committing forward here.
He just needs to eat that one wind. It's not that bad, but his commander is fully to the front on the enemy side of the field now. He's having a 1v1 with a
Doing it
laser
all.
tower. He's gonna win it.
Okay, he sees it. He guns it, but Mex is going down. He has another T1 lab on the top side of the map. Blodir is currently just running blitzes in 14 different directions through C3BO's base. T2 is up, but the lab is blocked.
No,
He's
C3BO
still
needs to
not
realize-
noticed it. This is just draining his economy. It's actually a disaster. The Jags are stuck, his eco's stuck. And this is going to give Blodir time. Blodir is loading up for a bombing run. Has beamers out, which are busy cleaning up this medium tank ball. Blodir hasn't pulled a single win this game, and is just scaling solars and A-solars. And this bombing run, it's not a lot of bombers, but it is going to be devastating. C3BO notices, sends the blitzers forward, lots of transports out for some reason. Light transports are out for C3BO, not sure where they're going.
Media Mines in position. I think this one hit will die. Yeah, there you go. Jags are now
One.
finally set free.
Jags show up. They are going to run into a lot of blitz, and the bombers arrive at the front line, are going to start hitting the wins. But well spaced out wins, not really going to find too much damage here.
Oh my god, another stream of Blitz entering the south. Jags are in position, but only 2 of them and an LLT. Jags need to be microed back or they're gonna die.
They're getting focused down. This LLT doing a lot of work. This other Jag also putting in some work. More wins going down. Okay, defenses hold.
Yeah,
Mostly.
the dust settled. Okay, so now...
Behind all of this, what's the game state, Slick? What's going on?
Obviously, C3BO has the tier 2 advantage, but he has no map control. Blodir has completely deleted his expansion to the north. His commander is stuck on top of a hill. On the
He's actually taken the high ground. He has the high ground. But there's a giant swarm of blitzers running at C3BO, and if you don't micro your Jags, blitzers will actually just melt you. All of the T2 units going down here for C3BO, and a Jag push going through the center as well, running towards the top. I think Blodir is floating metal, by the way, not getting everything spent. This is... Look at the... But army value at this moment. Blodir builds the metal storage of shame, but catches all of C3BO's expansion cons, is about to find his lab at the top, which has even more cons. And Blodir has a nearly... Yeah, and Blodir with a nearly 200% army value advantage. This means that C3BO's comm is like up a creek without a paddle at the moment.
He's in huge danger, actually. He needs to get some clutch D-guns. Luckily, it's not that hard to D-gun vehicles, but it's still not a very good position.
Yeah, Blitz is a concerning one. Like, of all the vehicles to D-gun, I think it's Jag and Blitz are very concerning. And all of the comms go down, the lab goes down. Currently, they're being protected by the dead bodies of the other. C3BO says GG's to spectator chat, calls it to all.
He calls the game,
and
Hades
calls
goes
the game. GG's. That was a bit of a messy game. But Blodir just pulling a bit of a Randy, sticking in T1, although I do see T2 now. And just running back at the T2 tech. And takes the map and the game follows.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good at the beginning for C3BO. He was spending very well. He was expanding solid. He kept getting pressure on the other side of the map, picking off a mix here and there. Completely denied the south expansion many times. But after that, when we reached the mid game, he started losing all of his expansion to the north. And then he went for this tier. He went for the Banshees. They didn't get any value. They all died to the fighters. And then the tier 2 transition was premature, I would say, but still very ballsy.
It's one of those where you look at that T2 and you're like, does the wind blocking it for a minute actually change the game state? And it might have, in all honesty. Those T2 mexes would have been faster. Those Jags might have been out to better defend the raids. And that little error could be what's stopped C3BO from being able to hold on to that game, but Blodir capitalizes and just blitzes C3BO down in the end. And we move on to game 2 on Cerulata.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely think the 1 minute wind block did kind of sway the tides. I think he would have been able to defend the north a little bit easier. The Jags would have been in position. Yeah, crazy game. All right, Cerulata, what are we thinking about this one?
I was surprised at this being a C3BO pick. I felt like Cerulata, to me, is more of a macro-orientated map. Very much about expanding and controlling and finding your timings for advantages. And Blodir just strikes me as possibly one of the strongest players in the game for that sort of playstyle. So perhaps you can tell me, what do you think C3BO was thinking with this map pick? He must have a plan since this is his map pick.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a plan. I have no idea what that could be, though. I don't think I've seen C3BO play on this map at all. I haven't watched a game of his recently on Cerulata. We see a top left spawn Armada as well, again. And for Blodir, we see a Cortex bottom right. You know what I mean. He's spawning on the right
Look,
side of the left.
lower right side central spawn coming out by Blodir, yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen this before. I have not seen people spawn here before. Usually, it's always on the high ground. It's either this high ground or this one, but never in the
Yeah.
low ground.
But again, Blodir, being Blodir, must have a plan and a reason for this. So
Yeah,
it'll
I'm
be
sure there's
interesting
some-
to see how they go from here.
Yeah, Cortex bots is the lab that gets planted on actually. Ooh.
If he goes for
Okay.
it's vehicles, okay, no, it is Cortex bot.
Yeah, and now Armada bots for C3BO is the choice as well.
Very interesting wind positioning. I can't say I've seen it before, but I respect it.
The wraparound.
Yeah. I'm wondering, so how do you think this map plays out? I feel like both players will obviously be transitioning to vehicles at some point,
Yeah.
but will we be seeing a lot of grunt on pawn action, or is this just more secure versus ticks?
I'm sorry, just the phrase grunt on pawn.
You don't like the grunt on pawn action, yeah?
Yeah, it's just a little bit too funny. But yeah, it's definitely going to be grunt versus pawn for the beginning side. This map gets decided by who can take the other corner with the 9 mexes concentrated there faster and keep it. If it reaches the mid game and you completely deny your opponent's corner, you automatically win. So it's about, making these outposts and taking good care of them. We see the first ticks now making it across the map. C3BO immediately spawns the Raider. He's going to deny it just like last game.
You will not know where he is. But a lot of grunts actually out for Blodir, some of them moving across the map, and I still find the grunt matchup with enough micro is extremely oppressive for Arm to deal with, though Pawns now have a much better matchup, being able to just run and gun down the grunts. But we're gonna see these grunts just everywhere for Blodir.
Yeah, pawns are better against grunts now that they have faster weapon velocity. They essentially get a little bit more range when chasing, but I don't think the matchup is 50-50. Grunts are still superior.
Yeah, that is more or less my... You do need to micro really hard,
Yeah,
and you need to stay at max range, but at this level, pretty much all of the players are going to be playing borderline optimally. And the price cost on grunts makes it feel just really nice to get map control.
yeah,
You do see
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we do see C3BO setting up a defensive line here, but the second grunt shows up and the pawn's in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, we actually see C3BO go for 2 very fast construction turrets and moving out with his commander.
Blodir
very nice
opting to go straight in and just gets taken out. LLT will be up in time to defend as well. Blodir actually having... How many cons expanding? 4 cons expanding at the moment. Massive grunts running into C3BO's commander, denying
Yes.
a max.
He has 6 cons expanding actually.
6! Wow!
Yeah.
This man is... This is why I was like, I don't know if I'd want to macro against this man, because look at this position C3BO finds himself in at the moment. He's being pressed back into his own quadrant, barely able to expand forward, and Blodir is just grunting grunts, though there is a counterattack coming on the left-hand side of the map that might catch Blodir unprepared.
Yeah,
Even
he's,
if he catches that, Blodir still has double the expanding cons, if 2 die.
They're retreating now. C3BO's units appear on radar, and Blodir has enough reinforcements to defend the cons. He's gonna lose the mixes. At the same time,
Look,
huge
yeah, to the
attack.
north. He's
Yeah, huge
committing
attack to
in
the
here.
north.
And there's not enough pawns to stop this LLT from going down.
Oh, it's gonna be
Pawn
close.
is getting a really good trade. LLT's about to go down. Blodir will take out the con as well. That's the expansion con. Blodir has 6 times the expansion con. Not infinite times now. His commander is walking forward. C3BO is reaching deep into Blodir's position with his commander, but that's concerningly far forward.
Yeah, concerningly far forward for any other player, but C3BO is...
Channeling his inner Dolphy. Just come walking across the map.
I was gonna say he has nerves of steel, and he doesn't get scared off easily by silly threats, like getting your commander sniped.
I don't know, the threat of how many grunts is this that are sprinting at him? A lot? Looks
Like
pretty
15?
concerning to yeah. The RLTs will be enough to deny this, but we see this army value, 200% advantage for Blodir, though interestingly enough actually, the economic advantage does lie with C3BO currently.
Yeah, but I suppose that will change very soon because Blodir has managed to already get over to the second corner, and C3BO cannot really leave his base. And also the army value advantage is that huge because Blodir has been microing these runs extremely well. I mean,
Look at this trade, the pawns just get obliterated.
Yeah,
they
you
can't even approach this many. Just running into an execution here. Bugs are out. I think Blodir is going to be hunting C3BO's commander.
But he's
C3BO running
he's
to the
gonna get in
water.
Yeah, he's fine.
But even if he's fine, even then, the problem is he's losing ground, and his commander's got a long walk back. And Blodir doesn't care. Blodir has the center of the map as well.
Yeah, Blodir has expanded very well and he's denied expansion very well, so he's very ahead. And this commander play from C3BO didn't really, you know, it didn't really do that much. And he, instead of, you know, being glued to his lab like Blodir, pumping army the entire time, he was doing this walk, and I wouldn't say it paid off that well.
C3BO opting for a very interesting play though. We see actually a bot and vehicle lab out. And the Centurions will definitely help deal with this grunt wall. But man, it just feels like Blodir has the map locked down, and it's gonna be difficult. And if he decides to just bring this blob back and deny the northern quadrant, the north right quadrant for C3BO, there's not a lot C3BO is gonna be able to do about it.
We see a very nice engage on the right side here. There's only radar available for these cones. They're rushing out an LT. I actually think if they can get this LT up,
gonna be up, I think. Just in time, it's gonna come up.
Oh, so they're just gonna hide behind the cones though.
Using the bodies to block them. The cons moving. C3BO busy repositioning. One of the cons goes down.
Oh my
nice
goodness.
micro there.
Yeah, very nice. Squeezing out the maximum value available.
Oh, Centurions are being a pain, pressuring on the left-hand side. Lots of dead units all over the place, but it looks like a pretty even fight. We have Resbots out. Blodir floating a lot of metal again. Definitely not enough E currently to deal with all of this.
Yeah, he does. And he expanded extremely fast and mostly really, you know, uncontested. So it could be a little bit of a surprise, the metal influx.
C3BO's commander is still lurking though. Blodir just once again getting this really good surround with the pawns, the Centurions pushing up the hill, but there are Thugs, Maces, Blitzes all caught out. The Centurions going down, LLT and Thugs too strong. Army value has equalized. We see medium tanks coming out. C3BO's commander is once again looking to encroach into Blodir's territory.
It is very dangerous. There's a lot of army, and now they are here.
A lot of army, a lot of LLTs, but Blodir is hard e-stalling at the moment. Not having successfully scaled. C3BO takes a few LLT shots, says, you know what? I'm not gonna risk it. Let's not make this game end like this.
Yeah, back in the lake.
Yeah, back C3BO of the lake approaching now. Bombers coming out for C3BO. This could be a really good call.
Yeah, let's see. Is Blodir's base particularly bombable? I wouldn't say so. It's sort of spaced out.
It depends on how many bombers he waits for, but this could be a big swing, because Blodir is currently very much energy starved. And is probably floating metal. Again, accessing metal, yeah. Blodir needs to desperately figure out a plan to just dump his metal into solos, but not willing to dump into solos. Goes for an M storage. And this is going to be 5 or 6 bombers. But Blodir is expanding onto C3BO's corner of the map as we watch.
Yeah, getting 2 corners fast basically wins you the game. Getting 3 corners...
3 corners and the middle!
These bombers have to do plenty.
But the game isn't over. C3BO has 100% army advantage, has loaded up 4, maybe 5 bombers coming, and a transport. What is the transport for? I have no idea. Blodir is finally getting his energy production up to a level that's going to let him play the game. He's going to see this soon. C3BO is distracting him with this push. 5 bombers more on the way. Aircraft detected for Blodir. This is gonna hammer his eco production. I don't think he has any AA. He has 1 or 2 AA turrets.
Cool. Really good bombing on the stacked wins, but everything else is kind of spaced. I'm not sure if these bombers will get much more value at the moment. Also, a lot of anti-air girls down.
And a massive fight going on to the north side of the map. I actually think C3BO is trading really well, but army value is actually equalizing behind this. And unfortunately, wind is at maximum, so this is a lot of damage to Blodir's eco, but he's fine at the moment because wind is at 25.
Yeah, really unfortunate if you're C3BO. Like, you bombed so many wins and your opponent is still accessing energy. It just has 0 impact.
Oh, that's so sad for him. Like, the rest of this game, Blodir has been suffering on energy production because wind has been low. These medium tanks are pushing forward, creating a lot of pressure. More units showing up. Con might go down, but the lighter units should surround these medium tanks. Bombers are bombing multiple mexes. Blodir counterattacking in the center as well. They're once again doing it. They're just fighting everywhere.
Yeah, both of these players have enough APM to just be contesting the entire map all the time.
But I think Blodir is coming out ahead. He just has so much metal, so many mexes extra, that even though C3BO is finding ways to punish him, just not enough, and we see the army value starting to slink over into Blodir's favor, up to 40%. Another fight breaks out in the middle. Shuriken's dealing with the raid in the south, and Blodir is just massing more and more units. More mexes do go down, but as we said, Blodir has half of C3BO's second expansion. And the middle of the map is locked down.
I actually think, yeah, that is right. The C3BO's expanding con actually went down to the exploiter. So he was able to aggressively raid using a metal extractor.
Yeah, how often do you see an expanding con get taken out by defensive structures? Blodir committing deep into the middle as well as the remains of this push get cleaned out, but these medium tanks being a little bit difficult to lock down. But it feels like Blodir can kind of do whatever he wants. We see T2 out for C3BO again. Lab is about to finish. Blodir, not yet looking at T2, is currently building multiple energy storages, is spending his metal, wants to retake all of these mexes. And there are multiple things occurring. C3BO's commander is still living in the water, has begun scaling C3BO's economy off the shores of Blodir's base.
I think you could have just taken this mix though. There's a mix right here. I think that would have been better.
Probably actually more efficient, but
Blodir now from the north.
Yeah, 213% army advantage. Blodir is going to be able to run this map. He's denied C3BO's expansion. This T2, while definitely a way back into the game, is also just killing C3BO's ability to have an army out on the map. And Blodir has now taken 3/4 of this map under his control, is pushing out in mid, has a swarm of units to the north, and C3BO just doesn't have units. There's no units in front of this.
Yeah, 370% army value in favor of the blue player. Double
400, barely 500. It's getting dire.
What was this explosion?
Ah, there were mines. There was a mine layer, but it's also gone. Army value approaching 600%.
Emergency
800%. But he needs units. The mines are not enough. 1,000% army lead.
Yeah, this army
down to 500 army value is not a good sign.
He's still making calls.
C3BO believing in the scaling, but apparently ignoring the forest of trees, of units approaching him. Calls GG.
Yeah, that is a very dominant game too for Blodir.
Blodir takes the 2-0, and honestly, the early games both looked somewhat back and forth, but once Blodir gets that edge, he just does not let go. And C3BO doesn't keep up.
Yeah, extremely impressive expansion from Blodir. Manages to take like 75% of the map, even denied his opponent's corner. C3BO went for that commander play, didn't really work out. Instead, just put him behind because, you know, his opponent was pumping army the entire time with his commander.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, respect for doing the ballsy play, having the plan to retreat into the river. Definitely very creative. Didn't work out this time.
I mean, C3BO is definitely an absolute monster, though, reaching the round of 8, but Blodir is just... He's the champion for a reason. He's trying to defend his title again, so... you can't take... That's what...
We just got information that C3BO is currently on holiday. Oh, I know, he's playing from a laptop. That actually makes it
I've
more
done that
impressive.
when I was in Japan, so I can relate to, yeah, that's rough. So it's still impressive games out of C3BO, especially game 1. I think game 1 he definitely felt like he was in with a chance and possibly at advantages multiple stages. So, yeah. But Blodir takes the series 2-0.
Yeah, well played to Blodir, and he is the first semi-finalist from the second group. And now for our next series, we have TM's Autopilot versus Domino, and your casters for that series are going to be Aiden Knott and Kuchi. Hey guys.
Yo.
Yo.
Hey, what's going on?
Okay, Kuchi, we gotta ask, what do you think of the games so far today?
I haven't watched all of them. Sorry, but good action. Lots of APM.
Yeah, yeah, that is for sure.
Man, how can people like this Coochie guy? He isn't even a fan of the game. What do you mean you didn't watch any match?
I'll watch it later, of course.
All right, I'll make sure the password is shared with both players. They should be coming in the lobby now to begin picks and bans, and I will give the floor away to Kuchi and Aiden. Have fun, guys.
Yo, Aiden, what do you think we're gonna see? What maps are we gonna see?
I mean, they're all good. So, I mean, my first answer is the good one.